Hello, welcome back to GP's Odds and Ends. Jessica here. So first things first, I wanted to just mention that, and I'll probably mention this for a couple of videos because I just went into the post office and got myself a post office box that I'll put the address up on the screen here, but it's also on my About page. I'm not going to include it in the description box of every video because I have heard other people say, like, if anything ever happens, they need to change the P.O. box. That's always going to be in the description box, and you kind of have to go back and change all of that. I can, if it's just in the About page, you can just change it there, and it's much easier to kind of deal with than to go back to possibly 50 or hundreds of videos to change that information. So I also put a poll up on my page. I have gotten some responses, but if you want, please go and check that out just to kind of gauge what kind of videos you like to see from me. Do you like to see nail videos, savings challenges, the game night with my mom, the cash stuffing, the planner videos, etc.? Kind of the ones that I've been kind of doing most. So far, the biggest response, or the one that's kind of leading, is nails. So I'm going to try to put more nail videos out and maybe back off on some of the other types of videos that aren't really getting responses. So first, thank you for letting me get all of that out of the way. If you have any other suggestions on videos, use the comments down below. I love hearing from all of you, and I appreciate your support as well. So thank you very much for joining me. But I am doing a nail video today. So these are prepped and ready to go. This will be a different nail. You can see that I have some dark blue nails going on here. So I did already do the color. This is a Virgo and Gem color. This is the AC21, so that means Advent Calendar from 2021, and that's number 11. So, of course, it being the Advent Calendar, it's not necessarily a color that you can buy. Sometimes I feel bad kind of showing colors like this. However, there are buy-sell trade groups on Facebook, so you could always look into seeing if you can get a color that way that maybe the company is not necessarily selling any longer, but somebody else might be. So I did already alright, so I have Peel Base underneath this. I did the 3 layers of color on all of my nails. I did already activate and file and shape and buff and everything these already because I want to get into the nail art, and I'm not exactly sure how this is gonna go. So what I kind of wanted to do, or what I have in my head, is kind of an April showers theme kind of nail art. And since I'm kind of allergic to the gels and I've been staying away from using them so that I don't get any reactions, there are a lot of kind of like nail art things that you can do with gel that are, really cool looking and everything like that. But I want to kind of see if I can do some different things, or things that you would normally only see done with gel, but with just dip powder, kind of like the leopard print design. You could do with paint, you could do with stamping polish, you could do with gel polish as well, but I did it all with dip powder. So if you want to see that video, go find that and check that out. I just want to try to find different ways to kind of do things. So I kind of want to do like a raindrop kind of look on top of this, but I'm gonna do that with this color Bubbly. Now don't let this kind of fool you. This it's very pink in the jar. However, when you kind of put it on your nail, it doesn't look that pink unless you're doing like the 3 or more layers of the color. I kind of just wanted the raindrop to have a little bit of a sparkly finish, and I don't know if you can kind of see just that super, super fine glitter that is in here. So I didn't want to go with anything that was too chunky. I wanted something very kind of fine, because I think the blue is really going to pop through, because I'm only going to be doing just like the little teardrop or raindrop kind of design on each nail and pouring that over, and then that's really going to be it. So we'll see how this goes. And maybe I'll do it on my thumb first, and then if I don't like it, maybe we'll be doing something else. I don't know. All right, so I'm actually going to grab a swatch stick as well. I did the same thing with the leopard print nails. I think, once I kind of have the base coat where I want it on my nail, it's much easier to kind of use this like a little spoon to kind of pour over, versus doing this and pouring it over that way. I think the base coat is less likely to kind of move or go anywhere. So let's see how this goes. So I'm also going to use a dotting tool. I'm not sure, some of these are like the same, but I just kind of want to see like what size. I don't want to go too big, but I don't want to go too small either. I think this one might be a good size. This is going to be the green one. I've gotten these I got on Amazon, and they may be linked in the description box for you as well. So let's see. I kind of want to... Give me just 1 second. I'm going to see if I can find something that I can kind of put a little dab of the base coat on, just so I don't have to keep kind of like going into the jar. So let me find something and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm just going to use this little card. It was a card that Maniology sent where I could put like my discount code. That's in the description box below as well. But I'm just going to use that to kind of dab some of the base coat. So let's see. And also, since I filed and shaped and everything, the blue I also already put activator on as well, so that should also help make sure that none of the glitter kind of sticks to the blue where it doesn't belong. So I think that looks kind of cute. I don't know if this is maybe a little bit too big. I think this might be a little bit too big of a ball to use on my other nails. So I think I'm gonna go smaller. I'm gonna use that one. Just because you have less kind of nail space on the other nail, so I don't want them to be quite so big. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on the rest of my nails, and we'll finish this up. Okay, so I am back. The top coat has dried. I need to apply my cuticle oil. I don't know if I really love how these came out. I need to see if I can get some better light on this. There, that might be better. Okay, so I mean, they're cute, they're okay. I don't know if it really reads raindrops with the top coat on. I don't know if it would have been better leaving it matte and just having like the sparkle. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I also think the dotting tool was maybe a little bit too much. Some of them, not all of them, really look like raindrops either. I think the top coat is kind of ruining it for me. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm going to finish off with my cuticle oil as always. So I want to make sure that my skin is nice and moisturized. This can also help promote nail growth as well when you're kind of massaging it in, especially kind of this area where your nail kind of grows from. So they're okay. This is maybe a little bit of a fail in my book, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know if I'm loving the top coat. I think it almost kind of looked better without the top coat initially, but I don't know. Tried. It didn't, I don't expect them all to work out. I love the blue. The blue is beautiful. But yeah, I think the raindrops kind of got away from me, and then the top coat I don't think is really helping it either. Okay, I am back, and by this time I will have probably cut out a great deal of doing this mani, and I'm gonna redo this because I've been sitting with this on my nails for a day and I hate them. I really don't like them at all. So let's show that's a little bit brighter there for you, but the top coat is driving me crazy. The raindrops, they don't look like raindrops, it just looks like silver little blobs. So I kind of, like I said, want to do like an April showers, May flowers. So this hand is going to be the May flowers when I get to it. But I really want to redo these nails. So I am going to switch to voiceover because I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I'm getting a little bit of a reaction here, and I think that's more so just because I didn't do my normal routine and kind of take a shower and just get all of the powder kind of off my skin and everything after I did my nails. But I do have my dust collector here as well, so I'm going to start using that again as well. But I'm going to just file these off. I'll probably show one nail and then come back with any. Well, I'll come back when they're done. So I'll just do one nail. I'm not sure which one I want to do yet, but I'm going to do one nail and then we'll come back. So I'm going to switch this and use a bit that will help get it off a little bit better. So I want to get all the top coat off and all of the silver. So I'm going to get this started. Alright, so I am speeding this up just a bit, so it's not taking a whole lot of time to kind of get this done. But again, I'm letting the file kind of do the work for me. I'm not pressing hard at all. I'm just kind of letting it gently remove, like I said, the top coat and then what was meant to be the raindrops. And I am going to do that on every nail so that we can kind of start over with a clean slate. Alright, so all of my nails have been filed. I am going to clean off my skin and the nail surface with some alcohol, so get rid of all of that filing dust so we have a nice clean slate to look at. And I do notice here, like I'm showing you here, I removed probably a little bit too much from the free edge area of my nail, so I'm actually going to go in and fix that a little bit. So I'm going to apply a little bit of the base coat just to the tip of that nail where it's bare and dip into that powder. I actually end up going in and doing one full layer of the dip powder on every nail just so that they're all even. They all have an additional layer in case I took a little bit too much off anywhere. There's not going to be any bare spots that I see later on or anything like that, just to make sure I have a nice even surface on every single nail before I go any further with the nail art. Alright, so I did that full layer of dip powder on every single nail, and now I need to go in with the activator to make sure that new layer is hardened, and if I have to do any filing or anything, that it's not going to just kind of crumble off. So I want to make sure that the dip powder is kind of cured with that activator and set so we can move on. I usually let the activator sit for about 2 to 3 minutes before I move on to any next step or filing and shaping. And I did just want to mention as well that I didn't really have to go in with the e-file at all. I just kind of shaped up or filed my sidewalls and the free edge a little bit because they really didn't need very much. Okay, so I pulled out this stamping plate M048 from Maniology. It has those little rain clouds with raindrops, so that's where I'm going to get my kind of April showers theme kind of look. And I know we're not in April any longer, but it is still kind of rainy where I am, and you know, the leaves and the flowers are just kind of starting to pop out, so I thought it would be a nice kind of transition into spring type of nail art to do today. And I will have the May flowers coming out soon, so that will go on my other hand. I am applying a thin layer of the sticky base coat across the surface of the whole entire nail. Then I'm going to go in and kind of use my white stamping polish, so this is the Bam White from Maniology as well, and transfer, you know, get the stamp all kind of ready to go. Doing it that way, especially over dip powder, the sticky base coat will kind of absorb into the dip powder after a while, so it just won't be sticky anymore. So applying it, getting your stamp ready, gives it just enough time to kind of dry so that it's not so wet that the stamp won't transfer over, but not dry enough so that it's too dry either. So it's kind of just that, getting it in that perfect kind of time frame. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply that to my nail. I'm going to show this nail as well as my thumbnail, and then I'm gonna cut out the rest because I'm pretty much just doing the same exact thing. I do add a little bird onto my pinky nail, but again, it's just kind of doing the same exact thing. I'm not doing any other colors for the stamping polish or anything like that. Just doing the same process. Apply the sticky base coat, pick up that stamp, and then transfer it onto my nail. Okay, and here are the nails with all of the stamps. You could see on the pinky I had the little bird there as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish this off with the Maniology smudge-free top coat. Now after this had dried and had been sitting for a little while on my nails, it wasn't quite as shiny as I would have liked. You could try to go in with your base coat. I would still suggest doing the smudge-free top coat on top of the stamps before you do this, but you could go in with base coat on from your dip powder system. You could also do this with gels and just cure in a lamp, but you could go over with base coat and then do a layer of clear on top of the stamps. However, you would then have to activate. If you have to do any filing and shaping and stuff, you would have to do that again, and then you could go in with your top coat. I did end up, I don't know if everybody knows that you can kind of use your base coat and your top coat and your dip powder systems kind of interchangeably if you need to. So I did actually go over this after a few hours, and I noticed it wasn't quite as shiny as I wanted it to be. I did go over all of the nails with just the base coat, and that's shiny enough that I didn't need to do any kind of extra steps with activator or anything like that. So you'll see the pictures at the end that they do look nice and shiny, and maybe a little bit shinier than they will when I'm applying the cuticle oil as well. So that's something that you could always do if you just want to kind of apply a top coat over something like this but not have to do all of those extra steps. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish up with the top coat on these nails. I'm going to let that dry for at least 5 minutes. The Maniology takes a little bit longer to dry than the dip powder liquids do. So I let that dry for at least 5 minutes, and then I'll come back with cuticle oil. Alright, so I know I did this kind of at the beginning of the video, but I'm going to do it again here at the end after finishing this mani, because again I've used, some acetone and alcohol and things like that, so my skin gets pretty dry after those types of things. And I did want to mention also, because I mentioned when I was redoing this mani that I started getting a bit of a skin irritation. This, as I'm doing this voiceover, it's literally a day after I did the redo, and my skin is already clearing up. I did make sure to do my normal routine. I like to usually take a shower, just make sure I'm getting all of that dip powder and everything off of my skin and everything, so that I don't have any kind of reaction. I kind of find that my skin is maybe a little bit more sensitive than it used to be after all of the issues that I have with the gel products. So I went back to my routine and my skin's already clearing up. I do also use Cortisone 10 eczema hand cream as well to kind of help get rid of that reaction a little bit faster. But I think that these came out really cute for an April shower. This is much more April shower to me than it was before, and I'm glad I decided to do the redo. Please like and subscribe, comment down below, and let me know what you think. Until next time, bye for now.